So this happened a few days ago, and I just thought this story deserved to go here. So recently, my school went on a 5-day trip to a different part of the state. Because we were going to be super busy the whole time, we were allowed to spend 2 hours at an arcade in a restaurant, and that's what we did. My friend and I played quite a few games, and had a bunch of fun. After a little while, my friend noticed that her phone was missing, and I decided to help her look for it. We were looking everywhere, and weren't having much luck finding it. We checked every game we played, and her phone was nowhere to be found. Keep in mind that her phone is very recognizable. It has a bright glittery case with the picture of her cat on the back. My friend went to go check the downstairs of the arcade, and this is when this story plays out. I noticed that a lady and her daughter were sitting at a table, sipping cola, and had something in their hands. It was out of the corner of my eye, but I noticed that they were holding my friend's phone. So I went to go talk to them about it. Excuse me, that's my friend's phone. Did you find it in one of the games? What are you talking about? This is my daughter's phone, not your dumb friend's. I'm sorry ma'am, but I know for a fact that that is indeed my friend's phone. It has her case and it's the same kind of phone. So that doesn't mean anything. This is my daughter's phone. I bought it for her on her birthday. The daughter looked really shy and didn't say anything. I'm also pretty shy, but I wasn't going to let some random lady take my friend's phone. So I spoke back to her. If that really is your phone, then you wouldn't mind unlocking it? Whatever gives phone to daughter, unlock it. The daughter tried to unlock it, but of course failed. Mom, I can't unlock it. How about we do a better test? I'm going to call my friend, and if my name pops up on that phone, then I know it hers. Just so you know, my name. I called my friend's phone, sure enough, my name popped up, and it was my friend's phone. Scoffed and threw my friend's phone onto the ground. Thankfully, it didn't break. My friend got her phone back, and the rest of the trip was super fun. My pregnancy was okay up until the last month. It was 95 degrees outside. I was retaining so much water, my sandals hardly fit on the biggest setting, and I was constantly in pain. It sucked. I waddle to the store for a couple last minute things for baby, and I was so relieved that there was a parking spot for pregos and parents near the entrance. I pulled in and took a few moments to chug water and gather my things when I noticed a couple up to my left. They were half in the handicap parking stall and yelling something out the window. I rolled my window down, and here, you shouldn't be in that spot, you don't have kids. My son shouldn't have to walk from the back of the parking lot or something to that effect. I was a little stunned to be yelled at, tbh. I calmly told her that I was very pregnant, and this stall was for pregnant women too. She kept talking to her son, but at me, you know what I mean. Sorry son, you have to walk in the heat, because this lady parked in our spot. So, I opened my door and hoisted my giant, Landway-esque body out of my car. She was still turned around talking to her son, and when she finally saw me, I was about 3 feet away from her window. I bent down, lol. No, I tilted my head down and said, do you see how pregnant I am? I think you and your son will be okay walking. And then I saw the son. He was like 7. The kid can walk. She just sighed and drove away. I was so pissed. I wish I said more to her. Entitled kid. Entitled mom. BD. Bulldoze dad. BF. Boyfriend. Me. Figure it out. Backstory. My boyfriend and I saved up for over a year to go on a cruise. We chose to go in March to actively avoid a lot of little children running around. For the most part, there weren't too many children, and the ones that were there weren't too rowdy, but then I encountered Egg. We walked into the breakfast buffet on our day at sea, and it was very crowded. We couldn't find an empty seat, let alone an empty table. I spot a couple getting up, so I quickly snag the table while it's being cleaned off. I sit at the table and hold it while my boyfriend goes to get food. I put my beach bag and towels on the other chair to hold his spot. I notice a family next to me with 4 adults and 1 boy, around 5 years old or so, with a teddy bear. I start hearing him cry and complain, so I tune into the conversation. Mom, Teddy needs a chair too. Can you get him one? BD. Sorry buddy, there's not many empty seats here. Teddy will just have to share with you. Don't be silly BD. If Teddy needs a chair, we will get him one. I see M look around the room and lock eyes with my table. I immediately prepare myself for the shit show that's about to ensue. M walks over to my table, doesn't say a word, and just picks up my beach bag, said sit on the floor, and takes my chair. Me, excuse me, we are using that chair, and I would appreciate it if you didn't touch my stuff and put it on the floor. I'm sorry, but you already have a chair. You don't need to. We need this one. Me, my boyfriend is sitting there. He just went to get food and he will be right back. X starts wailing for his mother to come back for Teddy. M continues to walk away with the chair saying something comforting to Egg. Me, ma'am, you can't take that chair. We are using it. I start to get up and walk towards her. BD, honey, she is using that chair. You can't just take it from her for a teddy bear. BD, we have discussed this many times. Egg treats Teddy like part of the family. We don't want to stifle his creativity by you ruining his dreams. BD has a look of exhaustion and defeat on his face like this happens a lot. I felt bad for the guy, but I'll be damned if I'll let this lady take my chair for a teddy bear. Me, I'm gonna have to take this chair back from you. I reach over and put a hand on the chair. Not her, just one hand on the chair. How dare you treat me this way? I'm just trying to raise Ek with a sense of imagination and creativity and you are ruining it. You're ruining his cruise and childhood. Me, look lady, I'm all about creativity and imagination, but taking things from other people isn't the way to do it. Give me my chair back, or I'm getting security. One of the other adults at the table groans and has this look of I don't want to get thrown out again on her face. BD, honey, we are leaving right now. BD and the other two adults at the table look so fed up with this shit. They grab their stuff and Egg and start walking away. One of the adults whispered I'm so sorry to me as they walked away. Egg is screaming his head off. Em is still screaming at me and calling me names as she starts walking away. They all eventually walk away towards the door. However, Em is still holding the chair as she is walking out of the dining room. I can't help but laugh at the entire situation and end up just taking a chair from their now vacant table. 2 days later into the cruise, I ran into BD alone, and he apologized profusely for his wife, and ended up buying me and my boyfriend a drink, so it wasn't all bad. So, I'm a 19-year-old girl and I have a 7-month-old son. Not uncommon, but he still usually gets mistaken for my brother/child I'm babysitting. I took him to a soft play area nearby on my own, and we were having a great time. He was playing with the blocks and just having fun. A woman came in who had 2 girls around 6 to 8 and sat near me and my son. It's at this point my son starts to cry. He was hungry, and the M turns to me and asks if his mum is around, to which I tell her I'm his mum. She looks shocked and then says, "Do you know what's wrong with him?" "Yes, he'll be hungry. Do you know how to feed him?" I was completely shocked by this, because even if I was babysitting I would know how to feed him. Plus he is 7 months old, so I think I would have fed him at least once before. I didn't say anything and just pulled out his bottle and fed him in my arms. Since there was a lot of things going on around us, he was very distracted and would move away from the bottle to look at something and then cry because he has no bottle. Very frustrating. M then says I can feed him for you. At this point I'm just screaming, "What the fuck?" repeatedly in my head. I politely declined and told her I know what he's like. She then starts to get a bit aggressive, saying I'm too young to look after him and I clearly can't cope being a single mother. I'm not single, but my boyfriend was at work. I couldn't believe what she was saying and got ready to leave. I picked my baby up and put him in the pram. He was screaming as his feet had now been disturbed. I gathered our things that were on the floor right by the pram, and as I turned around a woman was unstrapping my son in an attempt to take him out. I full on screamed at her to stop, and an employee saw what was happening and ran over immediately and asked her to leave. She refused as her 2 kids were playing and she didn't want to stop them. I said it was fine and I'd leave instead as I just want to get home again. I was so incredibly scared of what could have happened, even though I'm fairly sure she just wanted to help. I haven't been back there since. Did you enjoy this video? leave a like, and subscribe to Brody for more.